Welcome to Trending Now USA, and I am Bella, bringing you today's in-depth report on a story that has taken the global sports and entertainment world by storm. The numbers are in, the financial rankings are confirmed, and the tennis universe is celebrating a historic shift that has positioned athletes like Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, and Iga Swiatek at the very top of the world's highest-paid women of 2025. What was once dominated by actresses, musicians, and influencers has officially transformed into a court-driven era powered by young champions whose athletic achievements, commercial impact, and cultural visibility have redefined what it means to be a global sports icon. Today, we take you inside the unprecedented rise of women's tennis, a rise fueled not by scandal or controversy, but by performance, personality, and the unstoppable momentum of a sport that has captured worldwide attention. In recent years, women's tennis has always held an important place in global athletics, but 2025 marks a definitive turning point. This is not merely a moment driven by prize money or sponsorship expansion. It is the culmination of years of growth, narrative building, dynamic rivalries, and generational star power that has transformed tennis from being simply a sport into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. And at the heart of this transformation stand three extraordinary athletes whose stories, struggles, and successes have resonated far beyond the boundaries of the tennis court. Coco Gauff, the electrifying American sensation who captured the public's imagination with her early breakthrough at Wimbledon as a teenager, now stands as one of the most influential female athletes on the planet. In 2025, not only is she a Grand Slam champion, but her commercial value has skyrocketed to heights previously reached only by legends of the sport. Brands are drawn to her charisma, her maturity, her social impact, and her strong global fan base that spans beyond tennis circles. Her presence in the highest-paid list is not just a testament to her victories. It reflects a powerful combination of endorsement deals, media appearances, business ventures, and a carefully curated public image that resonates with younger audiences worldwide. Meanwhile, Aryna Sabalenka, the powerhouse from Belarus whose fierce competitive spirit and emotional authenticity have earned her both admiration and headlines across the globe, represents a different but equally potent form of star power. Her rise to the top of the financial rankings is rooted in her domination on hard courts, her dramatic rivalries, and her undeniable presence in major tournaments. Sabalenka has built a brand based on strength, both physical and mental. Her endorsement deals emphasize boldness and resilience, qualities that brands increasingly want to align with in a market where audiences crave genuine personality. In 2025, Aryna Sabalenka's financial success paints a picture of an athlete who has leveraged authenticity as effectively as athletic performance. And then there is Iga Swiatek, arguably the most consistent and technically masterful player of her generation. The Polish star, known for her quiet yet compelling confidence, has dominated clay courts in a manner reminiscent of the greatest champions in tennis history. While Swiatek's demeanor is calmer and her style more understated than some of her competitors, her financial success is anything but subtle. She has become an international symbol of discipline, intelligence, and competitive artistry. Brands value Swiatek not only as an athlete but as a thinker, an advocate for mental health awareness, and a global representative of excellence. Her position among 2025's highest-paid women underscores how multifaceted modern athletic success has become. Together, these three athletes have crafted a narrative of empowerment, excellence, and influence that stretches from the Grand Slam arenas to boardrooms, advertising campaigns, philanthropic projects, and international media coverage. Their combined presence at the top of the earnings list signals a long-awaited and deeply significant shift. Women's tennis is no longer just one of the most-watched sports. It is now one of the most lucrative platforms for female athletes across the world. To understand how we reached this moment in 2025, it's important to recognize the evolution of tennis as a commercial ecosystem. Over the past decade, tennis has undergone a remarkable transformation. Social media has given players a platform to express individuality, connect with global audiences, and establish personal brands independent of national federations or traditional media. Streaming platforms have altered the way tournaments are viewed and monetized. Sponsorship models have adapted to favor authenticity and diversity. And perhaps most notably, new generations of fans, from the United States to Europe to Asia, have embraced tennis as both a sport and a shared cultural experience. Coco Gauff, Sabalenka, and Swiatek have navigated this evolving landscape with astonishing effectiveness. Their individual stories intersect at crucial moments on the court, creating rivalries that are not only competitive but narratively rich. Their clashes in Grand Slam finals, WTA championships, and international events have provided tennis fans with a kind of drama, intensity, and unpredictability that advertisers dream of. These rivalries are reminiscent of past athletic eras where certain matchups defined entire decades, yet in 2025, the dynamic extends beyond athletic performance and into global brand partnerships, social movements, and international media narratives. Coco Gauff's influence in the United States is a major driver of tennis's explosion in financial growth. The American market, traditionally one of the most important in global sports commerce, has embraced Gauff not only as an athlete, but as a cultural figure. Her ability to speak confidently on social issues, her role as a role model for young girls, and her strategic partnerships with major corporations have elevated her profile beyond typical athletic boundaries. When Gauff wins a title, the celebration resonates not only with tennis fans but with broader audiences that see her as a symbol of modern American youth. Aryna Sabalenka's journey, in contrast, has been marked by intense emotional highs and lows that have humanized her in ways that deeply connect with audiences. Whether triumphing in major finals or facing personal challenges, Sabalenka's vulnerability and honesty have turned her into a relatable figure whose authenticity stands in sharp contrast to the overly polished branding strategies often associated with elite athletes. This genuine emotional presence has opened the door to bold sponsorship campaigns centered on empowerment, individuality, and the courage to express emotion, a refreshing shift in sports marketing. Then there is Iga Swiatek, who represents a form of excellence that is intellectual, disciplined, and almost artistic in its execution. Her dominance on clay courts has drawn comparisons to the greatest athletes of all time, and her thoughtful approach to competition resonates deeply with global audiences who admire a blend of competitive fire and emotional intelligence. Swiatek's partnerships with technology companies, educational initiatives, and global health campaigns highlight a brand identity that appeals to both younger fans and more mature audiences. When financial reports revealed that these three tennis stars had overtaken traditional celebrities in the rankings of 2025's highest-paid women, the reaction was swift and celebratory. Analysts began discussing the implications for women's sports overall, noting that tennis's new financial era could influence everything from broadcasting rights to prize money structures in other sports. Entertainment commentators pointed out that tennis's narrative complexity, rivalries, personalities, global events, made it ideal for the current media environment. And fans around the world shared their excitement on social platforms, thrilled to see athletes rewarded not only for skill but for authenticity and multidimensional influence. But beyond the numbers, what makes this moment truly historic is its cultural significance. For years, discussions about gender equality in sports focused on pay gaps, sponsorship inequities, and the lack of representation in mainstream advertising. The rise of Gauff, Sabalenka, and Swiatek demonstrates that the landscape is changing, not just because of external pressure, but because consumers genuinely value and support these athletes. Young girls across the world now see a viable path not only to athletic success, but to financial independence and cultural relevance. Tennis academies report increased enrollment. Brands are rethinking their marketing strategies. And media organizations see women's tennis as a cornerstone of audience engagement going forward. This realignment of global sports and entertainment economics also reflects broader cultural shifts. The modern consumer wants authenticity, leadership, and purpose from public figures. They want athletes who stand for something, who communicate openly, who inspire change, and who represent diverse cultural backgrounds. Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek each offer unique stories that resonate with different audiences, creating a mosaic of influence that captures the global imagination. Coco Gauff's entrepreneurial ventures, philanthropy, and leadership in youth engagement highlight her role as more than an athlete. She is a symbol of the next generation's values. Aryna Sabalenka's raw emotional expression, resilience through adversity, and fierce approach to competition highlight strength in vulnerability. Iga Swiatek's cerebral presence, eloquence, and devotion to mental health advocacy highlight the importance of balance in high-performance environments. These differences are not divisive. They are what make the 2025 tennis landscape so compelling. Each woman brings something distinctive to the table, and together, they represent a powerful shift in the global conversation about women in sports. The presence of tennis players at the top of the highest-paid women's list also signals a new era of financial storytelling in sports media. For years, lists like these were dominated by pop stars, actresses, and fashion influencers whose commercial value was shaped by the entertainment industry. But tennis has proven itself to be a uniquely sustainable ecosystem. It offers long seasons, international exposure, and individual star power that isn't overshadowed by team branding. Tennis players are their own brands, entirely self-contained, entirely marketable, and entirely global. And perhaps the most extraordinary aspect of this moment is that it feels like only the beginning. Analysts suggest that the financial ceiling for women's tennis may continue to rise dramatically over the next decade as broadcasting rights expand, new sponsorship markets open, and fan engagement technologies evolve. Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, and Iga Swiatek may be leading the movement now, but a new generation is already emerging behind them. Young talents from the United States, Europe, and Asia are inspired by the financial and cultural possibilities of tennis, and they are training with a level of vision that did not exist in earlier eras. In 2025, women's tennis stands at a crossroads where athletic performance, commercial potential, and cultural influence merge into a powerful synergy. The sport is not only reshaping its own narrative, but influencing the broader world of sports and entertainment. Brands are investing more heavily in female athletes. Broadcasters are increasing coverage of women's matches. Fans are engaging with the sport across a wider variety of platforms than ever before. And the world is taking notice. Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, and Iga Swiatek are not just the highest-paid women of 2025. They are the architects of a new era. They represent a shift in global values, a celebration of excellence, and a moment where women's sports have finally received the recognition they deserve. As we continue to follow their journeys through the season, one thing is clear: the financial triumphs of Gauff, Sabalenka, and Swiatek are not merely about money. They symbolize progress, inspiration, and the beginning of a new chapter in global sports history. Whether they are lifting trophies, signing international deals, or inspiring millions with their stories, these women have secured their place not only in the rankings, but in the cultural memory of our time. This has been Bella from Trending Now USA, bringing you today's in-depth report on the extraordinary rise of women's tennis and the historic achievements of Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, and Iga Swiatek. Stay tuned for more stories, more insights, and more breaking news as we continue to follow the biggest moments shaping the world today.